about that background company. Okay, yeah, do a research about that background of the company. Then there are some of the things that you are required to do. So for your information, when you're doing data entry, when you're collecting this information, we are always typing this information. So write down somewhere. When you do data entry, you are typing this information. I'm going to show you which informations anyway. You're going to type this info. So I'm going to show you which info anyway. I'll be able to show you which info am I referring to here. So while doing data entry and doing that research, you're going to type this information into a system, okay? Into a system like a computer. So while doing data entry, of course, you're going to type some of this data information into a system like a computer, spreadsheet, or even let's say database. So when doing research work, okay, you're going to type this information. I'm going to show you which information I'm going to be typing because you're doing a research. You're going to be typing this information into a system like a computer, a spreadsheet, or even database. Okay. Now, while doing data entry, of course, because you're collecting this information, okay, and I'm very sure all of us who are here, I'm 100% sure that all of us who are in this meeting, you are computer literate. I'm very sure about that one, okay? Yeah, share the live, guys. Tap the screen and share the live. If it is your first time being here, make sure that you follow me. Make sure that you follow me if you haven't. So, we are saying, if you're doing data entry, you're collecting some of the data information about a specific company, you're doing a research there, and you're going to type this information into a system like a computer, okay, spreadsheet, or even database. So, one thing that you need to know when doing data entry, you must be computer literate, which is why you also need to know at this point, okay, how will you use Excel to collect some of this data information. So you need to know how you're going to be using Excel in doing data entry, in collecting some of this data information. How will you use Google Sheet? Those are some of the things that you need to know while doing data entry. How will you use Google Sheet to sort, arrange, okay, yeah, and collect, to sort, arrange, and collect some of your data information here that you're going to be doing research for your client or even for your customer. So these are just about some of the basics about data entry. So I want to jump into how much money should you be paid. Of course, this is in theory, okay, but we have practical bit of it. So we're going to be jumping into how much money should you be paid if you do this research work, okay? Yeah, if you do this data entry as an assignment, how much should you be paid by the platform, by the company, if you do this research work for these clients, okay? Yeah, so I want to jump into the amount of money. I've just said that if you're doing this one, you need to know how you can be able to type this information into a system like a computer, spreadsheet, or even database. Also, you need to know how you can be able to use Excel and Google Sheet in sorting, arranging, and collecting some of those data information, okay? Yeah, so I want to jump into the money part. So how much money, if you have to do data entry here, how much money should the platform or even should the company pay you instantly there? So before I wrap these notes, guys, I just want to confirm that you guys have written down these notes. And I normally say this one most of the times. Just write these notes because the moment you're going to start working with me, Coach Silas, what you're going to be doing there, you're going to be referring to these notes while you're doing your practical assignments, okay? While doing practical for these assignments here, you're going to be referring to these notes. So that's what I'm saying. At least make sure that you write down these notes, okay? Yeah, so how many of us have written down these notes? Just type for me number 2 in the chat box if you've written them down before I wrap them. Just type number 2 in the chat box. Let me confirm. Because I want to talk about the money part. I want to talk about how much money should you be paid if you do what? If you collect this data information. So type for me number 2 in the chat box, guys, if you've written down these notes, because I want to wrap them right now. And thanks for those people who are following me. I'm going to follow you guys back as well. We have a lot of money to make together, guys. All it takes is just to make sure that you show up for my trainings and learn from me. So type for me number 2. Wangapi wameandika number 2? Just type for me number 2 in the chat box, okay? I'm going to talk about how much money should your client pay you instantly in return if you do this simple data entry assignment, okay? Yeah, type number 2, guys. I want to wrap it right now. Let me confirm if you guys are have already written them down because I want to wrap them right now. Follow me right now, guys. If you haven't, follow me. I'm going to follow you back as well. And make sure that, guys, you tap the screen and share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. Welcome on board, Vincent. Thanks, Joe, for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. Yeah. Yeah, I can also see Coach Phineas is here. Karibu sana, Coach. Thanks Sylvia for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. I can see we have Omash. Is it Omomash? Thanks for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. Teresa, thanks for following me. BYF sponsorship, thanks for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. Just type number 2 in the chat box if you've written down these points, guys. The happy dog, thanks for following me. I can see Advin has typed number 2, meaning that he has been able to write these notes. I want to join. That is Otayo Media. Amazing. So I'm going to guide you guys on how to join, okay? Yeah, how to join and work with us and make money on a daily basis. Very simple. Step number 1, if you want to join, I had explained how you can be able to book an account here. And for your information, guys, just to make it clear, before we talk about the money part, of course I'm going to talk about the money part. I'm going to show you how much money will you be paid here if you do data entry. And before you get there, I just wanted to make sure that you write down these notes, okay? So, someone has just said here that he wants to join. Who was that one? Is it, let me confirm, Otayo Media. So I'm going to guide you on how you can join anyway, don't worry, okay? Yeah, we're going to talk about how you can join. So, in the meantime, let me wrap these notes. I want to talk about the money part. How much money will you be paid? So before I tell you how to join, you need to understand how much money will you be paid, okay? Here, in doing these assignments, okay? Before I take you through the process of you joining. So, let's talk about the money part. Let's talk about the payment. So how much money? Let's get into it, the payment. So let's talk about the payment. The payment. How much money should you be paid? So let's check it out right now. The payment. Okay, I normally advise most of my students that if you're in my class, at least make sure that you write down notes. Because what I'm giving you here, these notes I'm giving you here, is your future to financial freedom. So take it seriously, because this is what pays us on a daily basis, okay? And I told you that you can watch my video that I've posted in my TikTok account there. If you want to see how much money did I make just yesterday, how much money did I withdraw from this, you can watch my video. I posted it right there. So let's jump into the payment part. Let's take a look at the how much money will you be paid. So let's jump into the money part. So in terms of payment, just write down somewhere. In terms of payment, now when it comes to data entry, we have 3 categories of people. Listen to this one, because this one is very much important. When it comes to data entry, we have 3 categories of people who are going to be paid doing data entry. The first category of people are the beginners. Someone who's just getting started. How much money will they be paid as a beginner? Secondly, we have someone who has now moved from a beginner to advanced stage. They have advanced their skill from just being a beginner. Just, let's say beginners are like amateurs. They're just getting started, right? But now, from you just being a beginner to advanced stage, how much money will the client pay you? And now, from the advanced stage now to a professional stage, how much money should the client pay you? So that is how you're going to be categorized in this payment process. So I want you to take a look at the 3 stages in which you're going to be paid here, and you can actually categorize yourself, okay? So the first one, we have the beginner. So the least amount of money you can be paid by, the least amount of money your client can pay you, if you do a single assignment here for data entry, the client will pay you from at least as, take a look at this one, from at least as $4, just as a beginner. Now, with time, it will reach a time whereby your client can even pay you maybe around $11 per task with time. So you never know. So just as a beginner, you're going to be paid this one per task. So let me talk about Kenya shillings anyway. So you can do the conversion. Maybe, for example, if you're not within Kenya, you can do the conversion in form of dollars anyway. So I'll be balancing both cash and dollars anyway. So as a beginner, in Kenya shillings, you're going to be paid 500 shillings per task if you do a single data entry job. Okay, that is just you're going to be paid 500 shillings per task if you do a single job there. That is just $4. Okay, for your information. So what I was supposed to be telling you from the start is that the least number of tasks, the least number of tasks you can do on a daily basis, the client will allow you to do at least 10 tasks every single day. The least number of tasks you can do for all the digital services, be it data entry, transcription, all those services, the least number of tasks you can do are 10 tasks in a day. So listen to this one. Now, if you do a single task for data entry, your client will pay you 500 shillings, right? So what about if you do 10 tasks? If you do the math there, if you do this one by 10, okay, in a single day, just in a single day, you can make here at least 5,000. And this one is someone who's just a beginner. You're just getting started, okay? Yeah, as a beginner, you are learning as you are earning. That is why I called you guys the digital earners. You are learning as you earn. As a beginner, you are learning skills on data entry, and you are also earning in the process. At least how much in a day? 5K in a single day. That is why I was telling you that the least amount of tasks you can make in a single day is 5K. Are you guys now clear up to that point? Follow me, guys, if you haven't. Follow me right now if you haven't. I'm going to follow you back as well for more financial skills. Then I'm going to be showing you which package do you need to do what? Book here in order for you to start. Okay? So, as a beginner, you're making 5K, okay, by just doing 10 tasks here. Okay? Then now, this one is a beginner. Now, we have those people who are now moving from a beginner stage to advanced stage. At that point, your client now will be paying you 1,000 shillings per task. If you do the math by 10 tasks here, be rest assured at the end of the day, you're going to work around the 10K. But at this point, you are no longer a beginner. At this point now, you are at advanced stage. You are at advanced, you can call it advanced stage, okay? So, that is why I was telling you guys that the least amount of money you can make in a single day, just as a beginner, is 5,000 Kenya shillings, okay? Yeah, or even $40, or even $40, okay? Yeah, so let's jump into it. Now, for the professionals now, with data entry, you can just start as a beginner. Each task you're getting paid 500 shillings. Now, at advanced stage now, the client is beginning to trust you with this task. You are creating friendship and all that. At that point, they can give you a single task for data entry that is going to pay you 1,000 shillings. If you do 10 in a day, that is 10K. But now, it reaches a point whereby the maximum amount of money your client can pay you if you do a single task for data entry. At one point, if you reach out to be a professional stage, at this point, you can even make this one in a single week. And that is what I was telling you guys. Some people are even making this one in a single week as professional. Now, as a pro, your client is trusting you with some of these data entry job worth paying even 10,000 per single task. And your client is telling you, maybe do this number of tasks within a period of 1 week, or within a period of 1 week in some few days. At that point, a single task here is paying you 10,000. You do that one in 1 week in some few days, you go with around 100,000. But at this point, you are just a professional. That is why you're seeing data entry is one of the highly paying services in this platform. For your information, if you didn't know, data entry here is one of the highly paying services. Okay? And at this point, as a beginner, we understand you don't have much skills, but you're just getting started. You are learning as you are earning. You are learning as you are earning, but at least how much in a single day? 5K as a beginner. Then you move from that point, you perfect your skills, you nurture your skills, now you move to advanced stage. Your client can trust you the task worth 1,000 shillings. Do 10, that is 10K in a single day. Now, your client can even trust you a task for even 1 week and some few days. That is now you get paid 10K per task. At that point now you're a professional. You've been working with this guy for even, let's say, maybe 1 month, 2 months. So you have perfected your skill and you're good at it. 10K per task, 100 Gs, right? That's why I was telling you guys that. Now, I want to help someone to know how they can join. Someone was asking me here, how can I join? So that is why you need to understand how much money. And here we're talking about a daily earning. If you can do the math here, 5K in a day, in a week, that is 35,000. 5,000 in a single day doing data entry, that is 5,000 in a single day. In 1 week, that is 35,000. In 1 month, that is 140,000. In 6 months now, consistency, just as a beginner, in 6 months time you can make 840,000. You tell me, that is just you being a beginner. Now, at one point you make 10,000 per day, 100 Gs in a week. So you tell me, how much will that one be? So, to book this account as a professional, to do data entry now, we call that account the pro account. You know why we call it the pro account? Because this account called the pro account, you can do all the 5 digital services. You can do data entry, transcription, academic writing, all those services. Okay? But you tell me, even if you book that account at 87 USD, take a look at that one. You book this account for data entry, you book that account at 11,000 Kenya shillings, or even 87 US dollars. But guess how much you're making in a single day? So, we've just done that math, that even in a single day, just as a beginner, as a beginner here, okay, you can make 5,000 by doing 10 tasks for data entry. It means if you keep on doing the same thing in 1 week time, as a beginner still here, you're talking about you making 35,000 in a single week. The more you keep on doing the same thing, it means in 1 month time of you doing this data entry consistently, you're going to be making around 140,000. If you do it for 6 months time from now, it should be like next year, That is about 840k. So you tell me, if I tell you to book this account here at just 11,000, you're booking this account at about 87 US dollars, okay, or even another 11,000 Kenya shillings. But this is the amount of money you can make in a day. In a week you can make this one, in 1 month this one, in 6 months this one. You tell me, why should you? Okay, how many of us agree with me with this one? I want you guys to give me want to come into an agreement. I give you an opportunity whereby you just book an account at 11,000 Kenya shillings, but every single week you're making about $35,000. Sorry, 35,000 Kenya shillings, or even rather 140,000 in just a single month time. You tell me, how many of us are seeing the essence whereby I'm saying you don't need to focus on the amount of money you're booking the account with here. Rather, you need to focus on the profits you're making in a single day, in a single week, in a single month. Type the word yes in the chat box. Okay? Yeah, type the word yes if you agree with me that you don't need to focus on the amount of money you are booking the account with here. Rather, you need to focus on the profits you're going to be making in a single day, in a single week, in a single month, in 6 months time. Type the word yes in the chat box there if you agree with me that you don't need to focus on the amount of money you are booking the account with. Rather, you need to focus on the profits you're going to be making at the end of the day, the week, the month. So type the word ready, guys, in the chat box. Let me confirm. How many of us agree with me that you don't need to focus on the amount of money you are going to book the account with? Rather, focus on the profits. Okay? Yeah, someone was asking me here, someone was asking me here, how can you book the account? I'm going to guide you on how you're going to be booking the account, okay? Yeah, let's just get started. So someone was asking me, how can you book the account here? So type the word yes in the chat box, guys. If you agree with me that you don't need to focus on the amount of money you're going to book the account with, type the word yes in the chat box. Type the word yes in the chat box if you agree with me that you don't need to focus on the amount of money you're booking the account with. And if you want to know how much money I withdrew, okay? If you want to know how much money did I make yesterday, just go and take a look at some of the videos I've posted in my TikTok. If you want to know how much money did I withdraw the other day on Friday, Jana, to go and watch the video I posted in my profile right there, okay? Yeah, so type the word yes in the chat box if you guys agree with me on that one, okay? I can see Mentasbel Advin is saying the word yes. All right. Okay, for your information, that is amazing. So, for your information, I normally say this most of the times that if someone is telling you that something is offered for free somewhere, always know you're the project. I normally say this most of the times. If someone is telling you, come, let's work here, and you're going to be working for free and you get paid, that is already a red flag, because you're going to be a project. You're not going to be making money there. Instead, you're just going to be working for someone. You need to be your own boss rather than working for someone, okay? Yeah, so that is why I'm giving you this opportunity whereby you don't need to focus on the amount of money that you're doing what? I don't need to focus on the amount of money that you're going to be paid at the end of the day. Focus on the profits. Don't focus on the amount of money you're going to be doing what? You're going to be booking the account with. So that is about data entry, guys. Any question about data entry before I proceed to another service? Okay, is there anyone who has got any question? Is there anyone who has got any question about that one? About data entry before we proceed? All right, now someone just told me here to help them to book an account. Let me just confirm that person. Thanks Lillian for the roses, amazing, and thanks Levis for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. There's someone that asked me here to help them to book an account. Someone asked me here to help them to book an account. I'm going to help them to do that one. Now, any question, guys, before we proceed? Any question before we proceed? On data entry, I want to jump into the next service right now. Is there anyone who has got any question before we proceed? All right, so if there is no further question, guys, I hope you guys have written down these notes so we can proceed. We can proceed to the next thing, okay? Yeah, we can proceed to the next point. Right now, I want to talk about the next service, which will be academic writing. The next service will be academic writing, so let's jump into it right now. Thanks for everyone who is just following me. I'm going to follow you guys back as well, okay? Yeah, and I normally say this one down those notes, okay? Yeah, so let's proceed. I want to talk about academic writing. So to book an account is very easy, guys. Just take the link on my bio, okay? Click that link on my bio, create the account, then text me by that WhatsApp number. I've just been there for a start, okay? Yeah, and I normally say this one most of the time. That is service number 2, academic writing. Some people are always just bitter about others being helped to make money. Okay? Sijui mbona watu wengine wanakonga watu wengine wanakonga na machungu sana, wengine wakisaidia kutengeneza dough. And did you guys know what, guys? You are real friends. I normally say this one most of the time. A real friend is someone who shows you how to make money. A real friend shows you how to make money, not showing you how much money they have, okay? Yeah, so watu wengine tukisaidia watu wengine kutengeneza pesa, watu wengine wanakuanga bitter sana. Wanakuanga sijui wako na hasira ya nini. At the end of the day, these guys won't even pay your bills, eh? Wengine wanasikianga tu machungu tu. If some people are being helped to make money. Na nimekwambia, if you want to see how much money I withdrew yesterday on Friday payday, enda angalia video nimepost pale kwa profile. Go and watch my profile. Take a look at some of the videos. Yesterday I posted the amount of money I withdrew from these opportunities. Ni sawa? Na mimi wanasema hatujakuja hapa hatujakuja hapa convince utengeneza pesa. Kama unataka kusota, wewe baki tu hapo usote. Ni sawa? Yeah. There's this book I read, the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 4. This book is saying that if you want to be broke, the easiest thing is to do nothing. And that is why some of us here, when we are showing you guys how to run away from poverty, how to run away from that broke mindset, some people are always just bitter about we helping other people. So guess what, guys? If you're not ready, if you feel like you're bitter about we helping other people to make money, my guy, you can go and do something different. Actually, I did not even invite you into my life. You can go and do something different. Eh? Yeah. But for those of us who want to make money, let's jump into it. So the next service is called academic writing. Write down notes. Write down notes, academic writing. There's no day I will ever be sorry about what I'm doing. There's no single day I will ever be sorry to someone for helping other people to make money the way I'm making money. So I won't even apologize for helping other people to make money, right? Yeah, so life has got choices you make. If you want to sit back and do nothing, just sit back and do nothing and be broke, right? Yeah, that is your choice there. So let's jump into academic writing. Let's define what academic writing is. So with academic writing, what normally happens here, with academic writing, we normally do assignments. So write down somewhere. We normally do assignments, okay? We normally do assignments for students. With academic writing, we normally do what? We normally do assignments for students who are studying in campuses, colleges, universities. So, I'm going to show you guys which kind of assignments do we do for these students when it comes to academic writing, and how much money do we get paid at the end of it? Okay, yeah. So with academic writing, we do assignment for students who are studying in, okay, for example, in the platform I'm working with, we normally have students studying in US, UK, Canada. We both know that there are some of those students who are also employed. At the same time they are studying, they're also employed. So they don't have enough time to do those assignments. They're being given by their lecturers, by their professors. That is why we normally chip in and we do for them these assignments. Which assignments? Write down somewhere. These are the assignments. Those assignments include, you can write down somewhere, the assignments we normally do for these students and we get paid. Those assignments include, number one, reports. We normally do reports for these students. Okay. We normally do research. We normally do reports, research. We normally deal with case studies. Case studies. You can write down that one. We normally do projects. Write down somewhere projects. And essays. And essays. So here's some format. I'm going to explain this one. Just write them down somewhere. We also have MLA format. The last format we have is called Chicago. So I'm going to explain all these three main formats. I hope you guys are writing down notes, okay? I hope you guys are writing down notes. So the first format is called APA format. What is APA format? APA format simply means American Psychological Association. So you can be given an assignment by your client, and your client is telling you, do this work in form of APA format. We're going to be showing you how can you do it in form of APA format. We've said APA format simply means American Psychological Association, guys. Follow me if you haven't. Tap the screen and share the live. The second format is called MLA format. MLA simply means Modern Language Association. Write down somewhere. MLA format simply means Modern Language Association. Then the last format is called Chicago. All these formats, we're going to be showing you how you can work on them and make at least 5K every single day from academic writing, okay? Now, that is APA, MLA, that is Chicago. So welcome on board, Joanne. I can see you've just joined. So these are the three main formats. APA format, American Psychological Association. We also have MLA format, Modern Language Association. Then the last format is called Chicago style. So, what normally happens here, for your information, guys, number one, we are going to be teaching you, or rather showing you, where can you get these jobs from your freelance dashboard? Where can you get these jobs? Number two, how can you do them in a professional way? Number three, how can you submit this academic writing work? And number four, if you get paid, how can you withdraw your money from the dashboard? Those are the things we're going to be teaching you the moment you become an active member, right? So I want to jump into the money part. I want to show you guys how much money should you be paid if you do any of these assignments. For example, any of the reports, research, case studies, projects, essays, and all that. I hope you guys have written down these notes. Wangapi wameandika hizi notes? Kama ushaandika hizi notes, just type for me number 3 in the chat box. Before I wrap these notes on academic writing, I want to talk about the amount of money you are going to be paid if you focus on these assignments. So, how many of us have written down these notes, guys? Before I wrap them, type number 3 in the chat box. Just type number 3 pale chini. Kama ushaandika hizi notes, type number 3 before I wrap them right now, because I want to move very fast. Just type number 3 in the chat box if you've written down these notes on academic writing. Before we proceed, just type number 3 because I'm about to wrap them. I want to talk about the amount of money you're going to be paid. Just type number 3. And if you're just joining right now, welcome on board. Thanks for joining. Welcome into our Digital Earners Club. We normally call it Digital Earners. And we normally say, for the Digital Earners, you learn live and you earn on a daily basis. For the Digital Earners, you learn live and you do what? Earn on a daily basis. So guys, let's jump into the money part. Let's take a look at how much money. How much money should you be paid if you do this simple assignment? The reports, research work, case studies, projects, and all that, okay? So let's talk about the money part because that is why we are here. The money part, the money. Let's jump into it right now. How much money should you be paid by your client if you do a single assignment for them? So let's jump into the payment, okay? So let's talk about the payment for academic writing right here. I normally say this one most of the times. If you attend my live, I have a notebook and a pen because, trust me, you're going to need these notes. You'll need these notes when you start working with me, Coach Silas. So don't just attend my live and just listen to what I'm saying. At least write down somewhere. Because the moment you start, when you join my team, when you're doing this practical digital services, when you start doing the practical, you're going to be referring to your previous notes. Sinisa. So ndio maana nimesema pale andika notes, write down notes, okay? So let's talk about the payment. Now, when it comes to academic writing, we normally have what is called CPP. So, CPP is just an abbreviation. CPP in full, it means the cost per page. If you do a single essay, a single report, a single case studies, how much money should the client pay you instantly? So, write down somewhere. CPP means the cost per page. Cost per page, okay? Yeah, so how much money will you be paid? Now, if you do a single essay, the client will pay you between 300, write down somewhere. You're going to be paid between 300 to 500 shillings per page. We call it CPP, the cost per page. Okay? So, guys, if you can remember, we said that the least number of tasks, I think I need to write it somewhere so that I don't drop it anytime. Maybe let me write it here. The least number of tasks you're supposed to be doing every single day. For any of our services, you're supposed to be doing at least 10 tasks. Okay, this one is the least number of tasks. Are you guys seeing it? This one right here. The least number of tasks you can do every single day for any of the services we're offering. You can do at least 10 tasks. Thanks a lot, Tinoman, for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well, okay? Yeah, so guys, if it is your first time being here, follow me if you haven't. Tap the screen and share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. So, for the academic rating, utalipa pesa ngapi? A single task, you get between 300 500 shillings per page. And we're just saying, the least number of tasks you can do in a single day. You can do at least 10 tasks in a single day. So do the math. If you do if you do 10 tasks here in a single day for academic writing, it means in one day of you doing this academic writing work, in one day, if you do 10 tasks here, that is you making between 3,000 to 5K. In a single day doing academic writing. That's why I was saying that the least number of the least amount of money you can make in a single day. If you work with me, Coach Silas, the least amount you can make in a day is how much? That's why I meant it when I was talking about you making at least 5,000 every single day. Okay? So in one day, you doing 10 tasks, you can make between 3K to 5K in a single day. So that is about academic writing. Now, what about in 1 week time? Because I know some of us, we're going to be doing this one consistently. Okay? Is it at 5? Yeah. 5,000. So I have a question, guys. For someone doing academic writing in a period of 1 month consistently in the platform, how much would they make now? Someone give me an answer in the chat box. If in one day you can make at least 3K to 5K doing academic writing, what about in 1 week doing it consistently? That is about 21K to 12,000. Now, in 1 month, that is how much? If in 1 week you can make 21,000, how much is that one in 1 month? Type for me your answer in the chat box. Then now, in 1 week, if you can make 12,000, in 1 month, that is how much? Type for me your answer here in the chat box. Let me see. For those of us who are active, give me an overview. In 1 week, you make 21,000. 21,000 times 4, how much is that one? And 12,000 times 4 in 1 month, that is how much? Let me see your answers in the chat box, guys. If you're participating, if you're active, just give me an answer there. Thanks, Ruben, for following me. Thanks, Ndolo, for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. Adel Ndolo. So, guys, let's see. 1 week, how much is that one? 21K to 35,000. Doing it consistently, guys. In 1 month, that is how much? Give me, okay, thanks, Ginny, for following me. Give me an overview, guys. 21,000 times 4 in 1 month is how much? 35,000 times 4 in how much? In 1 month is how much? So, give me an estimate between how much to how much? Between how much to how much in 1 month? Let me see. Let me see between how much to how much you can make doing academic writing. Let me see in the chat box right there. Tell for me your answers, guys. Bruce is saying 84,000. What about 35,000 in a week? How much that one in a month? All right. So I've seen that message from Bruce. So Bruce is talking about 84K, 240. Now I want you to listen to this one because it has to sink in. Now, when you are booking this account to do academic writing, the package to book that account, to start doing academic writing work here, that package is called the Elite account. Just to book an account. Elite account, you can book it at $47 or even rather 6,000. With these accounts at 6,000, take a look at how much money you're making in a single day if you do academic writing. Right? In a single week, 21 to 35. In a single month, that is how much? 84 to 140K. So, you tell me, if you want, okay, for your information, guys, you can book any of the account. If you want to do academic writing from the Pro, you can either book Pro, because with the Pro account, you are doing all the 5 digital services. But academic writing normally starts with this account called the Elite account at 6,000. So, it doesn't matter even if you book the account at 6,000 because you can make that 6,000 even in a single day. You can make it double that one even in a single week. Okay? You can even triple that amount in a single month. So, that is about academic writing, okay? You do that, some of this simple research like the essay, reports, case studies, all those ones, and you get paid, but at least the good thing is that you're going to be doubling your money the moment you do what? You get yourself started, okay? Now, who has got any question about academic writing before we jump into the next service? I told you guys in the morning, I normally teach theory of what we are offering. Then in my 4 p.m. training, I normally do the practical, just for your information. I'm teaching people 3 times in a day. 10 a.m. in the morning, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and 10 p.m. at night. Si sawa? So tuelewane hapo. Mimi nafunza mara tatu. 10 a.m. ama 10:30 in the morning, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, saa 10 jioni, then at night is 10 p.m. So guys, nani kuna swali about academic writing before I wrap these ones, because I want to jump into the next service called transcription writing. Transcription writing. And if you guys normally attend my 4 p.m. training, we normally do practicals. Mnajua? Okay? We normally do transcription or even translation. So don't miss my 4 p.m. trainings as well. So, nani kuna swali about academic writing? Any further question about academic writing before I wrap these notes? I want to jump into the next service called transcription writing. Transcription writing. Adel Ndolo, I can see you're saying 140 Gs. If it is your first time being here, guys, make sure that you follow me and tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen and share the live. Yeah, share the live. Tap the screen. Make sure you follow for more financial skills, knowledge, experience, how to get paid at least 5K every single day. Follow me right now if you haven't. Okay, who has got any question, guys, before I jump into the next service called transcription writing? Nani akona swali about academic writing? Ama mko sawa? I can see Steve has just joined right now. Amazing, Steve. Thanks, Bruce, for following me. I'm going to follow you back as well. That is amazing. So, guys, okay, let me jump into the next service called transcription writing. Write down somewhere transcription. So, nimesema ukitaka kufanya academic writing, we have 2 accounts to book. Number 1, either you can book the pro account at 11,000 and do all the 5 digital services: transcription, translation, academic writing, data entry in the academy. Or you can book this account called the Elite account at 6,000. This is when academic writing normally starts at 6,000 or even at 11,000. These are the 2 main packages for academic writing. So let's jump into the next service called transcription writing. That is service number 3. The third service is transcription. So let's jump into it. Transcription writing. So let's jump into transcription writing. That is the third digital service. Write down somewhere transcription, and we're going to be defining what transcription is all about. Transcription writing. So, I want us to define what transcription is all about. Make sure that you write down notes, guys. Make sure that you write down notes and follow me if you haven't. Follow me right now. Follow me, Coach Silas, if you haven't, okay? Yeah, so transcription. Now, to transcribe simply means to convert. Write down somewhere. To transcribe simply means to converting audios into text. As simple as that. Okay? So, with the transcription, you can either decide to transcribe simply means to convert audios to text, or even converting videos. You can say convert videos or even audios to text. So what normally happens, the platform I'm working with, you are going to be given some of the audio files that you're supposed to be converting into written text, and you get paid good amount of money. We're going to be looking at how much money will you be paid per single task. If you do a single transcription writing job, how much money should the platform pay you? So let's talk about that one anyway. Let's talk about the payment. So at the end of it all, after me talking about the transcription translation, I think before we talk about the payment, first of all, let me talk about some of the apps or some of the tools you need to be having while doing transcription writing, okay? Yeah. So let me talk about some of the tools. Which apps do you need to use while doing transcription writing? Which tools do you need? So for example, write down somewhere the apps, or rather the tools that you need to be using while doing transcription writing. So I'm going to write those apps here, and you guys are going to write down. You're going to be okay. I'm going to write the apps here, and also explain each and every app how it is being used in doing transcription writing. Okay? Yeah. And just for your information, before you write down those apps, I just want to remind you this one, that we have that service called translation writing that I'm going to be talking next about. After this one, I'll be talking about translation writing, but I'm just informing you that all those apps, or all those tools we are going to be using in doing transcription writing are the same tools we are also going to be doing while doing translation writing. So when I'll be talking about translation writing, I want to be able to repeat the name of the apps or even the tools They are the same apps. Are you guys together? Are you guys up to that point? Are we listening? Are we following? I hope we are. So follow me, guys, if you haven't. Follow me right now if you haven't. So the first app here, before we talk about the money part, how much money will you be paid if you convert a single audio to text? The first app here you need is called Audio Downloader Prime. The first app, we call it Audio. So just write down somewhere, Audio Downloader Prime. So I want you to write down this app, and I'm going to explain how it is being used. So make sure that you write down somewhere. That's why you need this